next on the agenda here, Joey?
Well, I want you to talk about. I want you to talk about this story that came up the other day. Just like sometimes we hear about, oh, they found another dinosaur bone somewhere in the world. Well, the rumor has it that, you know the old Teamster boss, Jimmy Hoffa?
I've heard of him.
Okay. He
Never
was
had the
not-
pleasure of knowing Mr. Hoffa.
He doesn't sleep with the fishes. He wasn't buried
Doesn't?
in an actual typical cemetery somewhere.
No, it was better than that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So where was
Give
he
me the
buried?
details about this.
Jimmy Hoffa, well, okay, this is a pro football, it's just one of those things that you hear, and I don't have any way of knowing whether it's true, but it's certainly food for thought. Rumor has it, I don't know, folklore has it, pro football folklore, that sounds a little bit more credible than rumor, doesn't it? That Jimmy Hoffa is buried in the end zone of Giant Stadium. A fine place, huh? What, do you believe it?
Where the Giants play?
Yes, New York Giants. New York
East
Football
Rutherford?
Giants. Yeah, that's it. The very one and the same.
Really?
I don't know. This could be true.
Where?
In the end zone. Underneath the ground.
Under aisle 6, seat 5?
No,
What? I don't know
aisle
what you're
6
saying
is
here.
not in the end zone. I'm talking about in the end zone. There's one on each end of the field. He's underground somewhere down there.
Really?
Yeah, they put him in there during construction. Maybe they thought it was going to bring good luck. It's certainly, Hoffa touched many lives in the New Jersey, New York area. during his
More
time.
ways than one.
He ended a few of those lives too, but presumably he had a lot of friends and allies, and those are the ones that they were sort of trying to hope that the ghosts of Jimmy Hoffa, or the ghost of Jimmy Hoffa, would have some good sort of vibes or good energy, good luck maybe for the Giants, based on the lives that he touched in a positive manner over the years.
So, are you telling me that possibly the Giants were not playing that particular week, and somebody got an order to go bury him and take some picks and shovels and walk in and break in or whatever they got to do to get into the stadium?
All right, we're backtracking here. I hate to speculate, but we're going to do it here briefly. This would have been done during construction, not in the middle of the season, and while nobody's looking, while there are not 60,000 fans in the seats, how hard would it be to take an old, mobster body, recently deceased, and I bet you Jimmy Hoffa looks good.
Oh, they made sure to do that, huh?
Well, the standard operating procedure, I would bet you that Jimmy Hoffa
Rubbish!
looks just as good today as the day that he was buried, because he was properly embalmed. So how hard would it be to, take the casket and lower him into the ground and make sure and bury him nice, and maybe put some flowers in there, maybe put a box of linguine so he'll have it in the afterlife, and
Box of linguine.
and maybe some notes from his loved ones, or some sort of maybe he wrote a little inscription that he said, "I want to be buried with this," and it's his favorite poetry. I think he was a fan of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, as I recall, so probably buried him with some of his poetry.
Of Henry Longfellow? Oh, really?
He's going to have.
Is that
he's
right?
Gonna have a lot of time in the next
How
role.
do you know this?
Listen. I have ways. I have my sources.
I think he more cared about Edgar Allan Poe. He appreciated his poems, if anything. That fits.
He did. He was buried with a little bit of poems. And the point is, he knew he was going to have a lot of time in the next life. He didn't want to sit around just twiddling his thumbs and thinking about the good old days. So he brought poetry with him. So they buried all up with him together. It was on his chest. His arms were crossed. Eyes were closed. He kind of had a grin on his face because he figured. He knew he got the last laugh.
Well, Jack Nicholson played him pretty well. So as soon as you said that, I could picture that effervescent, popular grin. Excuse the language, but shit-eating grin that Jack Nicholson has been able to use in so many of his films, and it's been kind of his, at least one of his many, themed looks that directors use when they use him in movies and whatever else that he does. But I'm still trying to picture, all I was trying to do was picture. I mean, did they have the turf done when this happened? How much of the construction?
The turf came in later.
Okay, so they literally used him to a small part to lay the groundwork
Yes.
for the stadium, to have a foundation.
Yes.
Jeez.
I know. And
After
you'll
everything you did, Jimmy, you were the foundation
That's
of
part
Giant Stadium.
Foundation of Giant Stadium. That's right. And he's still bringing the Giants good luck to this day. May it ever be the case. May it always be the case. Right?
I guess. I mean, I'm still baffled because I never heard the rumor, and this is the first time I heard the rumor. But a man has to be buried somewhere, and I guess at this moment I go back to my original story. Every once in a while we're watching CNN or we're watching one of the news channels and we hear about we've discovered a femur bone from a Stegosaurus outside Cairo, Egypt. Well, I'm waiting for one of our old crew, to be on national news and be like, can you explain to me, sir, what you discovered today? And Vinny Spinozzi says I was cutting through Savali's meat store and I accidentally kicked a can and a bone came up and.
All right. You're mixing things here, and I don't mind it, but the archaeologists of the year 2500 are going to have a hell of a time because they're going to find these the remnants of the enormous stadiums in 32 or so cities across the United States. That's just counting pro football. There's college too. And they're going to be at a loss to decide and explain what the heck was going on in all these stadiums. They will be able to figure out pretty easily that there were a lot of fans, a lot of people liked it. Will they figure out
That's a genius
football,
thought.
the NFL, the draft, free agency, and all this other stuff? I don't know. It depends how good they are. But what will help them, Joey, to figure all this stuff out is when they uncover the archives of the Joey and Mickey Pro Football Show, and they'll watch it. And so now we're speaking to the archaeologists of the future. Now you know.
I love it. I love it. Because whether you get a hold of this tape or not, which obviously would make it a whole lot easier to bridge the two,
Right.
so to speak.
That's kind of a cheat sheet,
These people were having fun.
Yeah,
They're going to say, whatever this game was, football, why do I think that their English language is going to be deteriorating? I don't know. But they're going to be like, what was this football all about if football is extinct? And if they see how much fun we were having, and we were having more fun than anybody else on any of the other discoveries that they make, or remnants of that are somewhat relinquishing football, then I'm sure they're going to go, well, okay, I mean, this looks great. I mean, it looks like people were throwing, and it looks like people were catching, and they had these funny looking space suits that they were wearing with helmets and
pads.
But these two guys, they were laughing and talking
Jerseys.
more about this than anybody.
These jerseys may show up in a museum in the year 2500 or something. Probably a little tattered or maybe a little bit of dirt. But this stuff, this is high quality fabric. It's not really going to age in the next 500 years. And this will be a clue. It will be like a museum of human history and so on.
Thank God for Reebok.
Yeah, well, I hope they're using good, strong material. They really better be planning for the future.
Well,
I don't think they're planning for the future as far ahead as we are thinking, Joey.
Well, unlike Jimmy Hoffa, that raises a very interesting, and I should say intriguing question.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy was buried probably in a $4,000 Italian silk suit.
Yes.
Is there any possibility that you would be buried in a NFL jersey?
That's a high possibility, yeah.
Who would that be? I mean,
well,
not to put you on the spot, but
what player's
at
jersey?
this moment.
Good question. I'm going to have to think about that. Probably somebody from the Bears. Possibly Sweetness, Walter Payton up there on the wall. I don't know. One of the all-time greats of the NFL and of the Chicago Bears.
What else can I say? That's
the
just
first thing that
sounds
comes to mind.
That just sounds and tastes and everything else. Hardcore football.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. You know what? Maybe I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
And unlike Jimmy, maybe my pose will be something like this.
Yeah, they can do that.
They can do that?
Yeah, certainly. The Undertakers can always arrange to pose you. There's no reason you have to be laying there like a stiff. You'll be a stiff anyway. But you could certainly be buried in a pose like that. That was the Heisman pose, right?
It was.
Heisman Trophy pose.
Obviously, it was close enough. The
Close
resemblance
enough?
that you got it.
Yeah.
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 When you mentioned Jimmy Hoffa, no relation to Mafia. That's not where I got the connection. Oh no, you made me think of Papa Gambini in 1923. He was another big leader in the New York, New Jersey area for organized crime, which I never understood that term. Is there such thing as unorganized crime?
Yeah.
Those the ones that get caught?
Well, it's the stuff that happens on the NFL police blotter, which we covered earlier. This is pretty unorganized. I think it's...
Okay, point well taken.
That's a good question. What really is organized crime? I don't know. But perhaps we should talk about it.
It intrigues me.
I think...
Can I be intrigued?
Certainly.
All right.
You're often intrigued. You know, one man's I don't know, what's one man's gold is another man's garbage. What they call organized crime, to us it was just a way of making a
Did
living.
you just call me garbage?
No, I'm saying, to us it was just a way of making a living. We had to feed our families, right, Joey? Well,
Yeah, it was a way of life. We didn't think
thought
it
we
was
would have
anything odd with
families
it.
down the road, so
Right.
we had to earn a living somehow.
It was an everyday thing. It wasn't. There was nothing that seemed odd about it.
I know. You know, the word extortion is such a nasty word to me. Why do they really have to call it that? We never called it extortion, right? It was protection. If a certain store owner doesn't want his shop to be broken into in the middle of the night, well, we can make sure that it doesn't get broken into in the middle of the night.
There's ex-husbands, there's ex-wives. There's no extortion.
No, it's just, I don't know. It's like rubbing your fingernails on a chalkboard. I just don't even like to hear the sound of the word. But
Security.
we could arrange to make sure that their shop was not broken into, whether daytime or nighttime or whatever. Now, are we supposed to do that for free, Joey? Are we supposed to provide that service for free?
No, as far as the last time I checked, every business, whether they offer a product or a service, they can't just give the stuff away and be able to stay in business.
You wouldn't expect that.
They have to have an exchange of simoleons somewhere in there.
Simoleon?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Also known
Clams,
in
whatever you like.
common parlance as, clams, beans,
Common
money.
parlance.
Common parlance, money. Benz, Franklin's,
Show me
the money.
the money.
Show me the money. So that's what we did. Anyway, we're providing a valuable service. Obviously they thought it was a valuable service, so they wouldn't be paying for it, right? And then the unfortunate thing is that occasionally we and people we knew would get arrested for this sort of thing and brought up in front of a courtroom, and then we had to go deal with the whole grand jury stuff, and it's just a hassle.
And they said words
They should have left us alone.
They said words like extortion, and they said words like juvenile delinquents, and they said words like rap sheet, and they said words like, before there was rap,
It's all propaganda.
we heard about a rap sheet.
It's all propaganda.
And wise guys don't use those words, do we?
No.
No, we're the good guys because we break it down to its simplest form. If it's protection, we call it protection.
That's what it is.
If it's security, we call it
That's right.
security. But unorganized crime,
Oh yeah, we were back to organized crime. That's where we
I
started.
guess that's when you get caught. I really like that definition.